At the end of last week, we made a video about new reports that surfaced around the new MacBook Pros that could be coming out later this year. And if you want to see that video, be sure to click the card in the upper right corner. But as we just finished that video up, some more news came out about potential new iMac that could be coming later this year, as well as a couple of other products. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, the new iMac models will feature slimmed down bezels and the metal chin will be removed in favor of a design that's very similar to the Pro Display XDR monitor that Apple had released near the end of 2019. The current iMac models have had a curved back design for as long as I can remember, but this new model will feature a flat back. Again, very similar to the Pro Display XDR, although I'm not really sure if it's going to have that whole back that is going on with the Pro Display XDR. It could just be one solid sheet of just a flat back aluminum design. Other rumors suggest that there will be two different versions of this new iMac, and one is expected to come in at around 23 to 24 inches, which will replace the current 21.5-inch model. Now, it's unclear whether Apple will stick to the 27-inch model for the larger one, or bump up to the 32-inch size that you see with the Pro Display XDR. Other notable upgrades or features you can expect to see will include the obvious shift to Apple's own custom silicon chip, most likely the next generation version, whether they call that the M2 chip or whatever. That's what we're looking at seeing, which could be a faster combination for the iMac along with more GPU power. Apple is currently testing silicon chips with as many as 16 power cores and 4 efficiency cores, but higher-end desktop models could come with as many as 32 cores. Now, these iMacs are expected to arrive sometime in 2021, but specific launch dates are obviously not yet known. Now, before we wrap up, there were a few other reports that I had mentioned earlier about a couple of other new products. The first one being two new updated Mac Pros, which will use the same design as the current Mac Pro and could potentially be the only new machine released that will still rely and be equipped with Intel processors rather than Apple silicon chips. Now, that's for the first updated Mac Pro. For the second updated Mac Pro, Apple will use Apple silicon chips, and it will be less than half the size of the current Mac Pro, putting it somewhere between the existing Mac Pro and the current Mac Mini. It will feature a mostly aluminum exterior, and Bloomberg suggests that it could invoke nostalgia for the Power Mac G4 Cube, which would be awesome to see in 2021. And last but not least, the final rumored new product is a new external monitor that should come in at a lower price point than the current new monitor that Apple came out with, the Pro Display XDR, which I've mentioned 1,000 times in this video. Obviously, we're hoping for something less than $5,000 to $6,000, which is what this monitor costs. So we're expecting to see something pretty similar to what Apple did back with the Thunderbolt display introduced in 2011 with a price point of $999. Now, this report claims that Apple's new lower price display will feature reduced brightness and contrast ratio compared to the Pro Display XDR, which again is priced at $5,000 before you factor in an optional $1,000 for the stand. Obviously, I'm not expecting this new monitor to compete at every level with the Pro Display XDR. It's hands down the best monitor that I have ever used. I don't, again, expect this to be anywhere near this level, but if it could be something like LG and Apple's collaboration on that 5K Ultrafine, if you could give us something around that monitor, somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500, which is what that monitor cost at the time of launch, that would be great. And then maybe a lower, smaller end model like they did with the 4K Ultrafine for around that $700 to $1,000 price range. That would be really, really cool. Again, these are all just my opinions. We don't have any concrete information about that monitor except the fact that it is in early development. But of course, I would love to know your thoughts on everything that I just talked about in those comments down below. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.